right, everybody, welcome to Rana's Radar. We are here at the Rod Run, Spring Rod Run at the Conte Centre in Pigeon Forge. And of course, I had to stop by indoor. Look at what I'm looking at here. Kasey, you've got one of only 3 Stingers like this.
That's correct.
Tell us about your car.
It's a 1967. It's called a Dana COPO Stinger.
Okay.
And General Motors only built 3 of these cars. They only built 6 engines. Today, this is the only car they know still exists and the only engine of the 6 otherwise they don't know where they are either.
Wow. Wow, one of only 3 ever made, and those engines were only 6 ever made.
6 ever made is a QF, that they call it.
Now, General Motors did this. What was the reason? Was there a special promotion, or was it for an event of making only such a limited edition?
This was done as part of a got me caught.
That's all right.
Okay, you'll edit.
Yep.
Anyhow, no, actually, Don Yenko had the car built. And I have a letter that he wrote to Ed Cole, and this engine was discontinued. And he wrote Ed and said, I need to have this engine for racing purposes. Well, how many will you need? About 15 or 20.
Yeah.
Well, he made 17 of these cars available to him.
Okay.
The only ones were ever assembled in '67. 14 of them went to the Yenko dealership in Pennsylvania. The other 3 went to Dana Chevrolet in California.
Wow.
It was supposed to be a Yenko. Well, there was a little difference of opinion.
Yep.
And the car was never numbered. Well,
Okay.
you have to be numbered to be called a Yenko.
Yes.
So, anyhow, when the Yenko book came out, which I believe Jay Leno had just bought one and added to his collection, a Yenko Stinger.
Yep.
He mentioned a blue book. And the blue book lists every one of them was ever made and built. It says, if you're in the book, you're the real deal. If you're not, you're not. Well, I'm in the book.
You're in the book, Kasey.
But it's not called a Yenko Stinger. It's called a Dana Stinger because of the ambiance and knowledge that Yenko actually had it built. But those things happen.
Wow. Wow. What an absolute story. Now, how did you come across this?
Well, a friend of mine was a car finder.
Okay.
And he recently found a Yenko Stinger for a friend.
Okay.
I said, well, find me one. And one day on a Wednesday night, he called, I found you a Dana. I said, look, I don't need no more women in my life. I've got one. I don't need no, Dana is the name of a dealership in California. And he says, I think you would like it. He put us together with the owner in Seattle, Washington, and I was able to acquire it. And so it's mine, has been for the last 18 years.
That's awesome. And why were you looking for a Stingray that you told your friend to find one for you?
Well, I just wanted something of that nature, you know, and I knew Yenko was a very popular name in the performance and things, the collection, and so I naturally wanted to go that. And it's more affordable than the Camaro or the Chevrolet Nova.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're big prices there. So anyhow, he was able to find me one. We were able to financially work it out, and that's how I got it.
And you like to race or have fun with your classics?
Participate.
Oh, so excuse
yes,
me.
I want to participate. Yeah.
Participate.
And drag race, road race, autocross or hill climb. I've tried a little bit of all of them.
Nice.
Not everything about winning, just participating.
Having fun.
With the car people and enjoying it. That's what it's been.
Love it. Kasey, let's have a look in detail. I was going to say we should look under the hood, but I noticed that the engine is in the back.
And some judges never knew that. I went to a car show. There were
Yep, you can come with me.
2,000 cars there, and they had drive-up judging, and there were 4 judges, and I pulled up, and they looked at me, and I looked at them, and they looked at me. They came around to the window and said, would you raise your hood so we can judge your engine? I said, mine is up. And they looked at me, and he stood back. Corvair. Oh, is this one of those little French cars with the engine in the trunk? And I made a comment, and the judging didn't go well for me.
But they should know their cars.
4 judges, and none of them knew this.
They should know their cars. If they are judging, you know.
On this particular model, the name Chevrolet does not appear.
Okay.
And inside or outside. General Motors name only appears in the trunk underneath the tail light.
Wow.
That you can find it. So I don't know why that was, but that's the case. So I find about 9 out of 10 people are not aware of this car. I was featured inside the Corvette Museum.
Okay.
And people came up and they said, "What is that?" I said, "Well, it's a Corvette prototype."
And I believed you.
so anyhow, I had to explain to them what it was and everything, because if you're under 40 or so, you're not familiar with the word Corvair.
No, well, that's why when you saw me coming around with my camera, I'm looking at the sign. I'm trying to read as well, because I was like, okay, what is this? I like it. It looks good.
Well, it even goes further. I called General Motors to register my car. They had the historical department. I've done 2 cars. If you give them your VIN number and that, they'll send you a stack of the build of your car. So I called to the girl and I gave him the VIN number, said, "What kind of car is it?" I said, "A Corvair."
Yep.
She said, "Corvette?" "No, Corvair." "Did we make that?" No, she was young. I could tell by her voice. I said, "Yes." Well, she said, "Let me look in my computer." Oh, here it is.
Wow.
Says, "You're the first person to ever call a Corvair."
For a Corvair, wow.
I said, "There are not many of us."
Wow, Kasey. Now come and tell us, please, what engine do we have here in the back?
This is a 140 horsepower, 164 cubic inch. This engine was discontinued in 1967, and Don Yenko wrote Ed Cole a letter, which I have a copy of, this requesting he needed this engine for racing. And so they ended up getting it, and only 17 of these that I know of were ever built with this particular engine.
It looks very different from the engines that I have seen before.
Well,
Tell us, walk us through it. What is what?
Okay, well, this 140 is almost like what they call a Porsche type engine. They said, "Oh, you copied Porsche." Well, actually, General Motors had this type engine 3 years before Porsche had used it. And that's the knowledge somebody taught it. It comes with 4 carburetors. It's air cooled. So, no, this is not the water for the radiator, that's for the oil. There had been mistakes, and some ladies who were taking the car told them to check the water, and some of the engines were ruined because they looked like they filled it with water. So anyhow, these are some of the things that
So how many cylinders would that be?
This is a flat 6-cylinder opposed engine. And anyhow, the engine's so reliable that some people will use this in airplanes, actually fly them, and I know they're very durable and they keep up. If you ever see airboats out in the swamp areas, you see them blowing along, a lot of them use the Corvair engines.
There you go. And what am I looking at here? Tell us about this.
Right here is a picture of at the supercar, I guess call it a COPO shootout reunion in Beach Bend, Drag Strip, and Bowling Green, Kentucky. And anyhow, I was invited there. This is where they have Yenkos, Nickies, Baldwin Motions, Gibbs, Berger, all 427 cubic inch high performance cars.
Nice. Okay, so they put the engine in the back.
In the back.
In the back. Now, to balance it out, to balance the weight, what's been happening at the front?
Well, the front is the problem.
Okay, because I know it's not a heavy engine.
No. The trunk is full of everything in the world. So
okay, fair enough. We won't open it.
We won't open. It scared the judges when they just came by a minute ago. Oh my gosh! But anyhow, there was a question about the safety. Ralph Nader wrote a book about unsafe at any speed. Well, the thing about it, the car in the early models, the 60, 64, they high speed did have a tendency to float on speed or curves, and there were some accidents and deaths because of it.
There was a bit of a fuss that happened around that time. I don't know, something's coming to my head. There was a few protests done as well because of that issue that General Motors had with the engine being in the back.
There's so many stories and things. I can't relive them all or understand some of them. But they corrected it, went with an independent suspension.
Okay.
This helped correct this problem because in 10 years of building these, nearly 3 million, were manufactured. So anyhow, when somebody says unsafe at any speed, that can be true of any car.
Exactly.
Because they say it's the nut behind the wheel that makes the difference.
That's exactly right. Well put. Well put. That's very true. Now the interior, everything, it was restored when you got it 18 years ago, but it's been restored back to
original. Yeah.
Let's have a quick look inside.
You will find there's some additional gauges in the car because in '67 they went to idiot lights to tell you you have a problem. You only found out you were in trouble then. Instead of with the gauges, you could see you're getting into trouble.
Oh, I see those ones down
Oil
there.
temperature, oil pressure, and amps. These are very key on a Corvair being air cooled, is to keep within your guidelines. Because you don't want to have a light tell you you're in trouble if you know you can do something about it ahead of time.
Wow, this is very neat, very rare.
Yes.
And what is your plans with the car? Just to enjoy it?
To enjoy it, and I hope my son will maintain it for a while and take care of it. I've been handed to it, and I've enjoyed it. It's just so much fun. And anybody, Jay Leno has 3 Corvairs.
Yep.
And he said in an article I read, who knows about news, but anyhow, he said one of the 10 cars he would keep in his collection would be a Corvair.
Yeah.
They're reasonable in price, easy to maintain, and fun.
And fun.
And fun.
And fun. There you go. Thank you so much, Kasey. I appreciate this.
I appreciate you coming by.
Thank you. You know, everybody, you know this, I love the Bel Airs, I love the 57 Bel Air, but what Janet has in front of us is just absolutely beautiful. And what's even better, she's practically chosen every single decision on what she wanted on her Bel Air and how she wanted things. And that's why it's looking so good, because boys, sometimes you need a woman's hand. Janet, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Absolutely love it.
Thank you. I do too.
I'm so happy that you do. How could you not? Look at it. It looks absolutely brilliant. I love the colors you've chosen. And we were just talking about the roof. That gold along with this. And then I've just noticed now you've got the Chevrolet logo.
Correct. That goes with Bel Air.
Absolutely beautiful. Before we get into the details of this absolute show car, tell me, where does your love of the Bel Air start?
When I was a child, I drove a 55 Chevy. And that started it. And then my sister became ill, had this in her pole barn for over 25 years. Nobody drove it.
Okay.
And so as she got to where she couldn't walk, she's in a wheelchair, and I asked her if she wanted to sell it. I had a friend who wanted it. And she said, would you buy it? And my heart about bled, so I bought it.
Wow, because you wanted to keep it in the family.
Right. So I had it restored, and she got to see it now. And
I don't want to make you emotional, but thank you for sharing that with us. You know, I have sisters myself, so I know how close the bond can be. She had it for so long, she was not able to drive it.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to see it go anywhere else. She still wanted to see it.
Wanted her sister to redo it.
Wow.
So I did, and she's very pleased with how it turned out. I love how it turned out. So I can't get any happier.
What's your sister's name?
Joyce.
Joyce, you have an amazing, amazing taste in cars, and I'm so happy that I met your sister here.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Okay, now when you got this 25 years ago, what was the state of it?
Well, I only got it 5.5 years ago.
Okay.
And it really needed body work and a paint job. The interior was the old roll-in pleated black, and I thought that was fine. And then when I took it to the builder, he didn't like that.
No,
and I had told him,
they'll find a million reasons to change things.
He said, what do you want out of this car? I said, I want a show car. So, man, we got busy.
I bet he was excited to hear that.
Oh, yes. And
They
a year and a
love
half
working on
later,
these.
It was done, so it was good, all good.
Okay, so let's start off here first. Tell me about what you've got under the hood.
Oh, well, this is a LT 5.3 engine.
And what made you go decide on this engine?
My builder helped me decide on the engine. They said it was very dependable, good on gas. They just said it's a great engine, so I believed him.
Well, they did a great job. Definitely show car with a clean firewall. Everything is absolutely brilliant. And look at these grills. I did not notice that these grills.
Right, the gold goes with the Bel Air. It's original. It is the original chrome all on this car.
Wow.
We didn't have to buy any
It just needed some
factory
TLC,
made.
right?
Right.
And you chose the red.
I did.
Tell me, why the red? Because you could have had any color you wanted.
To me, a 57 looks the best in red. It complements a car. I wanted a candy brandy wine. My builder wouldn't do it.
Why not?
Well, he didn't want to because I might get rock chips, and he said he couldn't match it.
Can I just say that these builders are really fussy people?
Well,
know?
but he was really...
They do amazing work.
He was advising me very well.
But because
So-
they love their job so much and they're so passionate about what they do, is if they think that something's not going to go well, or they'll be like, no, not doing it, you can't do it.
It'll look bad on him.
Yeah, I think it's the only
Yeah.
business where they can get away with that.
I know.
Not listening to the customer.
I agree.
Go on.
But I've got a Corvette in this color.
Okay.
And I like the Corvette, so I said, well, if I can't have what I want, make it this color. I drove my car over there. And he did, and then the champagne color on top, well, it's cinnamon actually, he helped me pick that one out, and I thank him because I thought it was a good idea.
It looks good. It looks very... And there's a lot of beauty on the inside.
Yeah.
Let's go check the inside.
Do you want the door open?
Yes, please. Wow. I love the mix of textures.
I do too. And I like he brought, my upholsterer brought the exterior color inside a little bit, not too much.
Just to break it up.
Right.
You like your comfort, Janette?
Yes, and they are comfortable.
They are. They look comfortable. This is beautiful. Very nice, very clean.
Oh yeah. I keep a clean car.
Just the look of it as well. Everything's in line. I like that the console is in line with the seat. It's not sticking up.
Yep.
This is absolutely brilliant, and we can see that the cinnamon color, not gold, cinnamon, has been transferred over to the steering wheel as well.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I like what you did with the Bel Air, which I have not seen before, is you have a lot more space here in the back.
Correct. We didn't box it in. We followed the natural lines of the car, the metal, and gave me more space out here. However, I have to hide my cleaning things. So we took where the extra tire was, designed that so it's waterproof, drain in the bottom if I want booze, soda. And I can put my cleaning things in there.
So where would you put your spare tire?
Oh, I just called Tote.
Well, you
tow
don't need it.
company.
It's a show car. Yeah.
I have, well, I've got insurance that covers that, so
Yeah.
they'll come and take care of me. How often do you actually get a flat tire?
That's
And
true.
they're new tires. I'll keep good tires on
That's true. But I like the fact that you have taken this all the way to the lines of the car, the body.
it. Following
And
it
I wonder
around.
why a lot more people don't do that. I can understand if the fenders are there because, you know, with the wheel, the tires get in the way, but
Right.
if there's room, why box it in?
Exactly. Exactly.
All
That's
I-
how I felt.
I mean, I see this because I play a little bit of golf. All I can think is I can easily put my clubs in there, my bag in there,
Right.
without having to wiggle it in.
That's right. And I can put whatever I'm bringing.
Yeah. This is beautiful. And like we talked about before, the stitching behind here, mimicking the interiors. It's been absolutely well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate this. Hold on a second, Tim. I love checking out the vendors, and of course I'm here in Pigeon Forge, which I love. It's close to home, and the Conte Centre is always an amazing venue. Here at the Atomic Speed Shop, so many of you guys know it. They do amazing work, and I've been told to check it out. I haven't been to the shop yet, but I definitely will.
Absolutely.
Tim, you tell me about the shop. You're saying there's a shop and then there's a restaurant next to it as well.
Yes, we have a new venue up front. It's Woody's Bar and Grill. It's all fresh. There's nothing ever frozen. He fires up the wood burning smoker every morning.
Oh yeah.
So it's all 100% fresh and straight food. Then you just walk right down the hill and you see the most amazing speed shop that you're going to find in Southeast Tennessee, and that's Atomic Speed Shop. All three of us work there. Several others work there. So as soon as you get a chance, come by, have a burger, come down the hill, see all the hot rods, and then when we have the cruise in, you can come and cover that also.
Wow, so there's a cruise in. Tell me about that.
Well, it's local stuff. So we have our customers that are dedicated to us. And we have it on a Saturday usually, and then we open, of course the restaurant will be open now, so we'll have traffic flow there. But we had, the last time we had probably 75, 80 cars there, all customers and patrons of the hot rod world. So they come and just
so when
hang
is
out.
your cruise in?
It's yet to be scheduled. We got to get through our show season, and then when we have an available weekend, we'll announce it. Usually 2 weeks in advance.
I love that.
Yes.
I love the way you think, because there's always shows colliding and clashing on the same weekends, you know, and I'm sitting there, where do I go?
If we had a cruise in this Saturday,
exactly,
there would be no turnout because everyone's here.
Exactly.
So we time it.
Everybody should think like that.
Bars and cars,
honestly.
you gotta try it out.
Next weekend we've got 4 shows happening, massive shows, you know, in Kentucky and Maggie Valley. So it was a coin toss, and I'll be going to Maggie Valley for the mini truck nationals. But that's the thing, every weekend there's something happening.
Yes, always.
Every weekend.
So if we stay in touch with you, stay in touch with us, we'll get you to our cruise in, and we'll get that out there. So
I have to check it out. I mean, the speed shop already was on my radar. You know, I wanted to go and check it out, but now there's a restaurant, so you can just grab a burger.
Oh yeah, and a beer.
You would have so many good workers there, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Come over and play cornhole out there.
There you go. Best work on full tummies, right?
Yeah, we got the largest beer garden. It's over an acre, so you can go out there, have fun, have a beer, chill out. Oh yeah, it's great stuff.
And anytime you get a disgruntled customer, which I don't think you guys ever do, just tell him, come on, sit down and have a beer, and he'll just cool off.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Exactly.
Love it, absolutely love it. Thank you so much, you guys. Let's have a look at one of the restoration jobs at Atomic Speed Shop.
Yep.
Clint, what have we got here?
This is a 1966 Oldsmobile 442. We did a ground up restoration on it, complete frame off, all new flooring, all new quarters, everything, trunk pan, all of it, rebuilt the engine, got her jacked up. She's so stout. It's like the 4 horsemen running down the road whenever you hear this thing start up. It attracts attention.
Nice.
This body style is not too common, and it's like the notchback. It's beautiful. The green came out amazing. It was really subdued until you put it in the sunlight. Once you get this car in the sunlight, that green acts up in the best ways.
Beautiful, full frame off restoration.
Yes.
What was the state that it came in? Like
the whole rear end was trashed on it. All of the underneath of this car was beaten, torn up, rusted out. So we had to do complete rotisserie type build on this.
Wow.
So the frame has been painted, stripped, all of that. So it's all immaculate underneath of there. You can eat off that frame. Everything has been done.
Nice.
The suspension, we did all the suspension work.
God, we needed to have some mirrors under here.
Well, you know what? We almost put this on blocks and almost put mirrors under it, but it was a time constraint situation where we were just like, okay, we got to get everything here now. So this is what the customer's going to be here Saturday.
And they haven't seen it yet.
Well, he's seen it and he's going to drive it out of here.
Oh, wow.
So on Saturday when we're all done, this thing's going home for good.
Nice. Now, a full frame of restoration with Atomic Speed Shop, how long did that take you guys?
It really depends on availability of parts these days, because a lot of places, other countries, aren't producing certain stampings. And due to the availability of this is a Oldsmobile 442. It's not the type of pull whenever you have like a Camaro. The parts aren't as available, so you really have to know who to talk to get anything, or use craftsmanship to rebuild what you have to rebuild what you can't find. So that's what we do.
So over here, what have you rebuilt? I mean, the body lines are pretty original on the car here.
Oh yeah, all of it's structural. We did that.
Okay.
Flooring, the inner trunk panels, the trunk drops, all of that stuff we had to cut out and replace.
I like the color of the interior.
Yeah, the interior was picked by the customer, but it is a beauty. She is every bit of as original as we can get it to.
I can tell, but the dash there, everything is period correct.
Oh yes, you got a little tack over in the corner.
Yep.
The seats are comfortable. It's like a fast couch.
You don't see the automobiles as often.
No, not really, you don't.
Getting restored.
And especially this square,
Yep.
because a lot of them have the fastbacks, and they like those. But this hip, what we call it's like a woman's hip. This right here is beautiful. That created body line from the factory is amazing.
It complements the back.
It does,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
As it comes down and slides to that line, and it always that 442. Oh yeah.
Is that custom? The back window here?
No, that's all
how it
stock.
was?
Yes.
I like it.
So all of this is just amazing that it all came together so well and clean. Tim's our painter, and he put the green on it. And
awesome.
our engine group built that engine.
You guys do paint work,
Everything.
your engine, everything, and even you install the interiors in as well.
Well, sometimes if they want their custom interiors, they can have it shipped to a company that does custom interiors, or else they buy the parts and we put them in.
Okay. It's pretty cool. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The color drew me when I was driving past here before. Well, I wasn't driving, I was being driven. And I said I had to come back here. Mark, how's it going?
Very good, thank you.
Tell me about your hot rod.
This is a 1929 Model A Sedan. Got a 327 with 3 deuces, and it also has the 5-speed manual transmission. Real fun car to drive. Got a lot of miles on it. This car's been to Austin, Texas and back. It's been to Minneapolis, Minnesota, to the Back of the 50 show. It's been to the Frog Follies in Evansville, Indiana. It's no trailer queen, it's a driver.
It's no trailer queen, you drive it.
That's right.
I love it. I love the fact that you drive this, Mark. And it's even better is you've been taking it to so many of the great shows. I was there at Back to the 50s. Frog Follies, I did not make it, but hey, we're here now at the Rod Run, and I still got to see it.
Very good, thank you.
All right, so tell me about this 29, and you've driven it a lot. You've taken it all over places. How long have you had it for?
Actually, I've only had this car for about a little over a year right now.
You drive a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I bought it off a very good friend of mine, and it was built by Hilton Hot Rods in Plains, Virginia. Bobby Hilton. He built a fabulous car. So.
And what was the state of the car before they started touching it? Was it all original or?
No, this was actually a street rod. It was burgundy in color. It really had no resemblance of what's here today.
There's been a lot of work done to it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 29 Ford. What's original, what's period correct, and what have you customized, if any?
Well, original would be the body, okay? Now the chassis is all modified to be like a 32 chassis frame. The motor obviously...
Sorry to cut you off. What is the purpose behind modifying the chassis? Is it to help with the block in the engine, or?
Well, the original Model A frames were a little bit on the flimsy side because they just had the 4 cylinders in them. But you could beef them up, but the advantage is to have a more drivable car.
Okay,
Yep.
that's why we upgrade and customize the chassis.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome. Love the color.
Yep.
And why green?
Well, it's all about money, right?
Well said, well said. Honestly, when you think of the Rod Run, when you think of hot rods, for me, when I think of hot rods, this is what I imagine, honestly. A true hot rod, through and through. And it's been done so well. Why the 29 for you? You could have had any other classic.
Well, it's just a cool car.
It's a cool car.
Yeah, that's all I can say.
All right, so why don't we go and have a look inside the interiors? I could go on this side.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And everything is exactly what 29 in 29 it would have been like?
Well, the dash is a 29. Obviously, the gauge package is a little different, and the steering column's a little different. And it has the 5-speed in it right now. Yeah.
I like your tall shifter.
Yeah, yeah.
You need it for these cars, right?
Oh, absolutely.
When
Yep,
you've got the option to have it right from the floor, why not?
exactly.
It looks good, and you've made it pretty comfortable with those seats.
Yep, very good, very good.
Oh, I do like the headliner here.
Yep, with the open wooden bows. Yep.
That's beautiful. And you have a fair bit of space behind you.
Yes.
Originally, there would have been no other seat. It would have been exactly like this, with just the 2 seats at the front.
Pretty much. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
beautiful. And we do like the pinstriping. I noticed it was on the hood as well.
The pinstriping was done by a very good friend of mine back home, Kasey, who owns what's called the Paint Shop. He's a very renowned, known striper in the country.
Okay.
Just a great guy, and yeah, he fixed me up. I'm really happy with what he did.
I feel like I've come across his work before. With pinstripers, they've all got a signature look.
Yep.
The way they do their lines, the angles.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it feels like I have seen it before. Which state did you say again?
Pennsylvania, Somerset.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
And of course, I had to get the personalized license plate to go along with the car.
All right, so
The Angry A.
Angry A. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine this being the Angry A out there on the streets. This is awesome. And it's not just green, you've got specs in there as well.
I'm sorry?
It's not just green, you do have specs in there.
Oh yeah, it definitely has a metallic in it. That's a House of Color paint that was put on it. Yeah, come out very nice.
And I love the top here. Beautiful. Is it just the Model A's that you like, or
I'm sorry?
is it just the Model A's that you like?
No, I pretty much like all the hot rods, but I like all the older cars.
Older cars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this would be your favorite?
Yeah, it was my favorite, but you never know. Might be something else in the pipe dream.
You know, Mark, you said was, so that means that you've got something else
Yeah,
on your mind.
that's probably right.
Okay. Tell us, what else are you thinking about?
Well, I like the 37 coupes. Actually considering maybe one of those in the future, but for right now, this is my baby.
And would you work on that yourself?
I'll probably, well, I'll definitely do some modifications
Yeah.
to it, yep.
But half and half, because otherwise
Yeah.
it'll just take too long.
Oh yeah, from building ground up today is just, well, it's pretty crazy.
Yes. And if you've got the patience, then fair enough, but it does take many,
yeah.
many
Money.
years. And money, of course. But hey, you do like the green, so
That's right.
that should not be a problem. Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Come on out, come visit everyone.
What are you selling today, sir?
We are selling LED night lights, all sorts of variety of faces, football teams, cars, classic cars, address signs.
These are awesome.
They are very nice.
And what's the name of your business?
Gifts galore.
Gifts Galore. Okay, are you online as well?
At this point, no, we are not.
You're just here for this show and you go to other shows?
Yes, we do. Different
Okay.
craft shows and car shows.
And we come in the fall.
And the Fall Rod Run, you'll be here as well?
Yes, we will.
Will that be your next show or is there one before that?
That is the next show.
That's the next show, the Fall Rod Run.
Oh, actually, the Rotary Club tent off Teaston Lake.
Okay, the Rotary Club. Thank you.
All right.
Welcome. Thank you for asking. That's real sweet.
Just wanted to show you all some of the vendors that they've got here at the Conte Centre for the Rod Run. There's a lot. Whatever you want to get, whether it's nuts or whether it's wallets or handbags, and of course, car parts. So, introduce yourself, please.
Yes, I'm Snap-on Chuck, and I have tons of Snap-on tools. And
Snap-on
also
tools.
other, promotional Snap-on items. So, depending on what you're looking for, there's a good chance I have it.
Nice, nice. Well, you've got a collection here as well, and you're selling a few other things on the side.
Yes.
You have a website for people to browse some of your products?
I do, but right now it's down. I'm going to have it back up in a little bit, but I have the catalog. I can get them anything from Snap-on. So.
Snap-on, Chuck from Snap-on. And you're here at the Rod Run. What other shows can we find you at?
I do almost all the shows. We just did Myrtle Beach, and we're heading down to Carlisle. And,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we'll be out in California a little
So that's
bit.
good. You're covering like
Oh, yes.
across the states.
But I always do. I love the Rod Run show. It's
Yeah.
beautiful here.
It is. It is. This is the Thursday, so it's beautiful. It's nice and quiet. I'm enjoying the peace, just walking around and appreciating the cars, and of course the vendors as well. Because tomorrow and Saturday,
Yes, it's going to be crazy.
it's going to be crazy. We would not have had the chance to actually stand and chat because
right.
you would have been very busy with customers. Chuck, appreciate these.
My pleasure.
Enjoy your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody, so here we are. We've got Ian Jones, HotRod Pencil. I've got Scott, who I've just met. Scott, tell us about yourself first.
I'm just a old-fashioned gearhead.
Old-fashioned gearhead.
I've got the American Graffiti and Two Lane Blacktop Facebook page because I know a lot of the people that were in the movie. Because I grew up with them, and just like I said, I've been gearhead all my life. Now I race nostalgia drag racing with my 55 Chevy.
Nice, you got a 55 Chevy. Okay, I do like you. I do like my Tri-5s. Two Lane Blacktop, at one of the shows I did see the original car that was used for the movie, and some of the people, the mechanics that were behind that as well. So what was your role? You knew the people as friends, or?
The flagman in the final race, me and his daughter went through all school together. I grew up with the El Camino driver in the final scene, and 2 or 3 others that was in the final scene.
Yeah.
And we do a fall ride up through the Dragon, which is where a part of that was filmed.
Yes.
And sometimes we stop at the little diner where they picked the girl, or the girl rode off on the motorcycle. Sometimes we stop there on our fall ride. It's just, we've had, on our fall ride, we do anywhere from 14, we've done up to 130 cars at a time, trying to get 130 through the Dragon. That's an accomplishment.
So what's the name of your group or club?
The ride is called Muscle on the Mountain.
Muscle on the Mountain, okay.
Yes.
And how do you like going on the Dragon's Tail without being on a bike?
I've done it in straight axle cars, I've done it in cars with slicks and skinnies on the front, I've done it in everything. It's a workout.
It's a workout, and the reason I asked that is because a couple of weeks ago we went with all those Corvettes up the Dragon's Tail, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of mixed opinions, this is only for bikes, this is, they're not doing it right, but either way, it was a lot of fun, and like you said, it's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
So with all this, if you've got a paddle shifter that makes things a little bit more easy, I'm guessing you didn't have that with the 55.
I'm old school. The last time I've done it, I did it in open headers,
Yep.
slicks on the back, skinnies on the front, 4-speed.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was my drag car that I drove on the drag.
Your arm got to work out.
Quite a bit. And my left leg.
Now, I love that you're here, Scott, because Ian was just mocking my accent.
Oh, I would never do that.
You would never do that?
I would never mock your strange accent.
Yes, because you've got one yourself.
No, I'm Tennessee born and bred. Okay, maybe not, still.
Well, that's there for you guys. American, Australian, British accent. What do you prefer? What's the funniest, or what do you like the most? For me, I love the American accent. The more southern, the better. I mean, take me to Mississippi or Louisiana and in the Union State, you know, absolutely love it.
I vote for the Australian accent.
You vote for the Australian accent. And what about you, sir?
I'm always with a good Southern American accent.
There you go. Well, this has been a lot of fun. You guys having, what are you here? Are you here with your 55?
No, I'm actually just here for work, picking up some parts.
Okay, so you don't have your car?
No.
So our conversation's not going to continue for me to go check out your car. I'm joking. Thank you so much, Scott.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ian. Always good to see you.
You too.